It's time to get clear, get heard, and get paid. And join us on our Soul Business Retreat. Attract your dream clients and income over 3 nights as we shape your passion into a business that makes a profit. Follow our 13 steps to reach 5K in 30 days in the beautiful Byron Bay. Whether you're starting, growing, or expanding your business, our all-inclusive 3-night retreat is the place for you. Check out the details in the show notes, and we hope to see you soon. Welcome to Willow Healing Matters, the podcast. We are so excited to have you joining us on this journey where we explore different ways to empower your soul, whether it's healing in your kitchen or all the way up in the corporate world. Come with us as we look into different ways to heal your mind, body, and soul. Hey everyone, it's Catherine from Willow Healing, and I have two beautiful people with us today, Jennifer Poland and Darryl Gurney. So they are spouses who join forces, combining their unique healing gifts exclusively in tandem to open amazing possibilities for their clients. Jennifer is a writer, healer, teacher, and prophetic channeler who recently prophesied the fires in Los Angeles and brings through messages of the divine angels and the Cosmic Luminaries. Darryl is a deeply gifted metaphysical healer of the subconscious and a speaker at the International Conference of Science and Consciousness in Santa Fe and taught at the Agape Center in LA. Jennifer is a cancer survivor healed directly by the divine via her and Darryl's practice. Jennifer and Darryl are now called to share their message with the world, having impacted thousands of lives. Having been in seclusion for the last 3 years, Jennifer channeled her recently released book, The Way to Peace, as they were prepared by the divine to receive and teach a revolutionary healing process, which they bring to humanity now, called Awaken Your Light Body. They join us to tell us their story, so a big welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
It's really cool I get to speak to two people. I don't usually get one person. So I guess we've done a bit of a run into your journey, but I guess the biggest thing that just stood out to me then is, what was it like just being, in seclusion for those 3 years to really channel through and get that clear message, I guess, on the healing practice that you have to share?
Right. And that's a good question. So Spirit gave us the opportunity and said, we're going to leave the world behind, but we're going to open up the world, a different world within ourselves, right? And so it was a daily commitment of our own inner work that we had to embody the messages that would come in. And so to bring down the purity of that message, it was word for word, and it was quite cumbersome. It's very difficult to have a clear channel in terms of the doing your own work. So you have to be very, very authentic. You have to be very aware of your own shadow, because the trickery on the inner planes with the dark side is they like to use the parts of us that are in shadow, right? Yeah. So the nice thing about the two of us is we have the mirror to offset the parts of us that we can't see in ourselves. And then being a healing couple is we have tools that are very, very complementary that can draw those out. So we would work on ourselves, work with clients, and we were applying these skills within our sessions, learning from our sessions, and then the channeling would come in daily for the book.
That's really cool. So I can fully resonate with this because I write novels and I've written a few books as well, and I've just channeled the whole thing. And it's really, and it's really powerful because it's almost like you have no expectations of what's coming out, and you just want it to be the pure message that's coming through without your interference. And even sometimes I was writing going, really? And they're like, keep going. So, it's so hard to stay on that track. So that's amazing that you did that for so long and got this beautiful process coming out. So do you want to share a bit about what it involves?
Sure. Like how I did it, or about the book?
Oh, I guess the book and then how you did it, or both, whatever you feel to.
Yeah. What comes through? I think the biggest message that we both have, in tandem brought through is the importance of our connection, our reconnection to our instinctual nature. I think fundamentally we've been disconnected from the earth very slowly. So if we go back in our history, 6,000 years ago, we went from a nomadic culture to a farming culture. And then if you look at the biblical reference, Adam and Eve left the garden, there's the same reference. So whether you're pulling from a science background or a spirit, or, from the Bible, essentially we lost our connection to that instinctual part of ourselves. And over the course of these years, is we've denied the animal parts which would inform us of our environment. We would be more organically in flow with our nature, and then we could perceive from the environment, something that is a threat or something is trustworthy. And our intuition, as a result, simultaneously was also sacrificed. The divine feminine was demonized, over the last thousands of years. And so the feminine within us all, men and women, has been seen as something to be ashamed of, or something to disregard, or something to overpower or dominate, or prove wrong. And so the simultaneous message of the inherent instinctual nature, coupled with the importance of the return of our divine feminine and the healing of that, is really what awoken the work. And the importance of this is going to segue into our light body activation.
Yeah, and I feel globally, like on the frequency scale, people are probably going to be more receptive to this information and more open to receive it, whereas previously people are a bit more closed, right? So it's like not as woo to talk about these things. So it's almost like become this point where oh, actually, you do energy healing? I'm really curious about that. Oh, yeah, I know someone that does Reiki. Like, it's one of those things that are talked about now, rather than something that's just been like, hush, hush, hush. And that witch wounding that we were all carrying around, like, oh, I'm divinely in tune, I'm intuitive, whatever it might be. It's not as much as a burden anymore. We can actually speak freely.
That's right. That's right. Having Darryl, and he should speak to his perspective, the healed divine masculine has been the gateway for the vulnerability of the feminine to be present, right? So without his strength and courage and protection and commitment to hold that container for me, I could not reach the depth of and the degree of connection to the omnipresent state, or the void, however you want to call it. So if it wasn't for him, I couldn't do what I'm doing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. When we started on this path, 30 years ago, I didn't realize the amount of interference that occurs outside our third dimension, and and so we've discovered many things, imposter guides that sit there, and then they will tag onto thoughts, something we want to be true, and they'll go, yeah, or there's all kinds of beings, there's ancestors that are influencing us that have really strong agendas. There's entities that haven't crossed over that tag onto us, and they're all in there having influence on us. And so, when we're working, I'm doing my best to kind of clear the field so that she can get a clear stream of information down through. And yeah, that's the kind of how we work in tandem, when she's doing her channeling and when we're doing one-on-one session work, where that is an influence that I think is not really fully understood to the degree that it actually exists.
The image I just got when you were sharing that, Darryl, was that Jennifer's there in her channeling state, and almost you're like there, like almost battling off everything else, and just like that's the image I got when you were sharing that. And it's so funny you say that, because I had this message come through about helping souls cross over, but there's so many stuck souls, especially with the frequency rising, right? And in cemeteries and places like that, or where there's been massacres.
Hospitals.
Yeah.
Oh, hospitals keeps coming up too, definitely. But what I got shown was almost you need, in my case, I got shown a trio, and it was one person's doing all the work, like you were saying for Jennifer, and then another person's making sure they're safe, and then the other person's keeping the other two safe. But I like that you have it in that duo, because yeah, it is really hard when you're channeling to keep that channel open, especially when you're getting such a large download. I fully resonate with this, and to know if it's true or not, and to continue, like the energy you put in to keep checking yourself, but to have Darryl there as that safety net for you and creating that safe zone, so magical.
It is magical, and he doesn't get enough credit, enough for that, because at night I'm like tapping him on the shoulder. In my dreams, I'm tapping him on the shoulder. I'm like, "Can you handle this?" So the strength for him to maintain that, and the commitment to do such a huge job, so that this can come down, and so that we can create this body of work. And so we try and be there for each other, and that's where we can offset each other's strengths, right? So he wouldn't be able to access that field without me, and vice versa. So yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it's very magical, and we feel